I look at the mirror each day and I see a fit middle-aged gay man. I don't see myself as a muscle daddy, but lately I've been called daddy by some younger guys in the dating scene. I would rather be called a sexy and attractive middle-aged man than a daddy. I guess because I've had daddy issue all my life, and that kind of bugs me to be seen or labeled as a daddy. I work very hard at the gym so I can have a nice butt, nice abs and pecs, and I definitely do whatever it takes to not have a dad bod. Daddy issue is real. I've had it for more than 20 years. I never really was aware that it was called daddy issue for a long time. All I knew was I always wanted to be with older men. I was always attracted to older men. All of my exes, my dating, hookup, and relationship experiences were with men 10 to 20 years older than myself, ever since the 1990s when I was a young gay man. I know that for the longest time, that was my preference. I prefer older men who were 30-something or even 40-something. And this is way back when I was in my early 20s. So now, I am in my 40s. I'm 48 years old. And I've kind of become a daddy myself. And all of a sudden, I've been getting a lot of much younger guys in their 20s hitting on me on dating app. And it's been a bit of a weird situation for me to deal with because I'm suddenly a bit surprised and shocked that I have become a daddy type. And that's not something that I was ready to embrace or that I really wanted to be this daddy type that younger guys go after. So, or maybe it's because I've always been the younger guy going after the older man, the daddy type. So the situation or the table has turned, and I just not sure how to deal with that at the moment. My daddy issues really started for a long time, ever since I was a teenager. And I think for all of the guys who have daddy issue might be able to relate to what I have gone through, or how I have become attracted to older men. And I think primarily because I have been so deprived of love by my father, and that's one of the main causes of becoming attracted to older men, is seeking the validation, the love and affection of an older man. And that's sort of a psychological thing that I was seeking in a way that I need that. So all those years, I mean, I never really wanted to be with men or guys of my own age. I mean, over the last 20-something years, I probably only had been with or sexually, anyways, in terms of hookup or whatever, I've been with guys that are younger than myself, maybe 5 to 10 times, and it's not really something that excited me sexually when I was with a much younger guy, or even guys of my own age. There's a few occasions when I actually did enjoy being with a much younger guy. For instance, 2 years ago when I went to Punta Cana on vacation, I hooked up with this much younger Puerto Rican guy who was staying at the same resort with me. He was probably just, I think maybe between 25 and 30, but he looked kind of mature. He has like this has a stubble on his, like a designer stubble beard, and kind of rugged looking with some tattoos, and he wasn't really that boyish or clean looking, so I guess it kind of was, you know, a bit of a turn on for me too, to see a much younger man that didn't look so boyish. I guess that was one of the things, is like, boyish looking man doesn't do anything for me. It still doesn't, not to this day. It's like my attraction to men, usually their physical attributes is like they have to be mature looking, muscular, rugged, handsome. I think having a beard is a big turn on for me. So that's kind of like my main type over the years, and I always have gone after that kind of men. I remember when I was living in Vancouver in the 90s and early 2000s, I was pretty wild and promiscuous for a while back in the day when I was in my early 20s. And when I was single and not in a relationship, there was a period when I had a lot of sex, when I had gone to the bathhouse a lot back in the day. I remember that it was always very, I don't know how to describe that feeling when I feel like I was rejected a lot, because back then, as I mentioned, I was very attracted to older guys who are muscular, you know, the daddy type, so to speak. And I was only in my early 20s, and I was a skinny Asian guy. I didn't look like this. I mean, I was not muscular back then, so I was a slim Asian guy. So, of course, I mean, it was kind of hard that I was attracted to the men that were not attracted to me. And then there were men that were attracted to me that I was not attracted to them. So I felt really rejected sexually when I went to the bathhouse, because I was going after the kind of men that was not interested in me. And sometimes they do, and a few of them, and it was so sexually gratifying when I get to have sex with, you know, a very hot daddy kind of guy. And that only happens once in a while, but then again, I would be chasing them a lot, and they would reject me so much that I feel like it was kind of a conundrum, so to speak, that I was attracted to this kind of men that were not good for me, or were not emotionally available, or they were not attracted to me in return. It made me feel really horrible at the end of the day, at the end of the night when I was going home, and because I feel like it hits me, like how my own father had emotionally abandoned me and rejected me, and even to this day, it's like after all this year, we are still semi estranged, so to speak, even though I would go home to Vancouver to visit once a year, usually on Christmas, and we barely speak. I mean, it's like I will still send birthday card to him, and but I know that even after all these years, he's still very ashamed of me. He's still embarrassed by me, and no matter what I'm doing now, like I have my personal life is successful, so to speak. I have a career as well, and I'm healthy, I'm financially stable, but to this day I never still waiting for that validation and that affection and the love that I never got from my own father. So it's sad to say that is still the main trigger and the cause for me to seek out the love and affection from older men that are not emotionally available to fill that void in me, and so that truly is the core of the daddy issue that I have had for more than 20 years. And today, as a middle-aged man who is seen as a daddy to the younger gay men, I feel like, have I come full circle? Like, what do I do now? It's like, I am not going to, I'm not going to date much younger guys. I mean, the men that I'm attracted to now is still is very close to my own age now, or the same age as me. Most of the guys that I'm attracted to are also in their 40s now, because I have become a middle-aged man myself. So it's not like my previous relationships and dating experiences that I have had since I was 20-something, there is no longer the age gap that will exist in my upcoming relationship or dating experiences, because I'm in my 40s now, and I'm attracted to men in their 40s and 50s. So it's kind of like there's no, I don't know how to say it. It's like, have I lost that daddy issue, so to speak? Is it possible that I don't have daddy issue anymore now that I've become middle-aged, and or is it still there? Like, I know that I still resent my father. I still don't have the bond or the relationship that I wanted to have with him, and it's kind of hard that I have to live with that. That's what I have to accept, and in order to probably let go of all these daddy issues, because I can't. My father is never going to be able to give me the love that I want, or say the kind of things that I need him to say to me, or validate me, or whatsoever. It just won't happen, because he is so traditional and so he cannot express his emotion the way that I would want him to. So that's what it is, and at the end of the day, I think to come to realization that I've been single for 12 years, only had a couple of short-term relationships and dating experiences. this period of time really allowed me to rethink about a lot of things in my own love life and my sexual desire and relationship values and all of those things, and so that I know exactly what I want and what I don't want if I was to have a relationship again. You know, I will be so aware of the fact that I have had daddy issue, and I'm not going to be looking for a man who is emotionally unavailable to trying to fill the void that I have, you know, from my own daddy issue that I had for a long time. So I hope that from now on, I will be able to let go of all of my daddy issues that I've had and move forward and become just mentally and psychologically just become more balanced, so that I don't get into the same old pattern that I've had and just constantly trying to go after men that are not good for me, that are not emotionally available for me. That has to stay in the past, and I'm ready to embrace what the universe is going to send to me, and Mr. White might show up eventually. Mr. White hopefully will be good looking, attracted to me, we have mutual attraction, and you know, that I can check off all the boxes, and that he's emotionally available, and that I do not have any daddy issue with him. So, and on that note, that ends this video. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye. What, Jake? You have daddy issue? You do? No, you don't. Okay, you don't.